structurally, as they just said, what demonetization did to digital payments, the lockdown or the COVID has done to our business.
Hello and welcome to another episode of 8. My name is Sanjay Chakravarti. I'm the founder of Tagit. Today's episode is going to be absolutely outstanding, outlier, different than anything that we've done before. For the first time ever, we have not one, but two people on the show together. One of them, Devendra Palrekar, is my batchmate. We not only were in college together, we worked together, we became partners together in EY. I have to tell him today, I've told him, before the show that there are some few secrets I will kind of reveal to him only on the show. And let me start with that. Devin, I'm not too sure you knew that fact, but he was not really a very liked guy while he was in Podar. And one of the big reasons for that is he was this nerd. He was this Tata scholar. He was the go-to guy for anything that was relating to studies. He was the intellectual guy in our batch. And clearly, those sort of guys, especially for the lower mortals like us, never really liked them. And interestingly, his popularity further dipped when he started dating the very beautiful Tejas out here. And obviously, then suddenly, people realized that even the nerds could kind of do good in life. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you before we started off. But on a serious note, guys, thanks for coming in. The reason that they are here is 6 years back, pretty much similar to when we started Tagit. I remember, having constant chats with Devendra and Tej as well when they were looking at setting up the venture. And what they have done is absolutely outstanding in the last 6 years. To sum it in, and I'll have them talk more about their business, but to sum it up, they have been featured in the Lux Book 100 of the top luxury brands in India in 2020. And when I talk about it, just to give you a better perspective of it, there are just 11 companies from the hospitality and the restaurant sector who feature in this category. And today, their company, Saffron Stay, is standing alongside the likes of Leela's, Taj, Oberoi's. They are in that same league as far as their brand in luxury is concerned. Devin, Tejas, welcome to the show and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So let me start with the interview with the lady going first. Tejas, tell us something about yourself in one breath.
Sure. So I'm a chartered accountant. I'm also Podar alumni, right? So I was 2 years junior to you. And I spent about 10 years with ICICI Bank, most of the time with corporate banking. And then about less than a year with HSBC before I got tired of being in the corporate world and decided to, quit my job and start something on our own. And that's how, Saffron Stays kind of came around.
Super. Devin, your one breath, who's Devendra Palrekar?
Hardcore technologist at heart, dreamer, entrepreneur, and someone who loves to set up businesses.
Super. Tej, coming back to you, Saffron Stays, tell us something about it. Again, one breath.
Well, Saffron Stays started about 6 years back, like you said, and it started because we had this, whole passion for, vacation homes and traveling and staying in non-hotel kind of stays. Some of it happened because of maybe how I spent my childhood holidays. My father worked with the Tatas, so we had a lot of access to all these directors' bungalows with the Tata teas and the Tata's guest houses. And somewhere that kind of stayed on with us. That kind of slow vacationing, as well as enjoying a private space to yourself, having a cook and a chef and a caretaker all to yourself. So that's where it started. It kind of enhanced when we, Devin and I traveled with very young kids in Europe, and we stayed in the Lord. Airbnb didn't exist, but we still, found a lot of these. So that's where maybe the passion started for this particular industry, and that's how the genesis of Saffron Stays is.
Fantastic. I mean, having now starting to stay at more of villas, it's actually difficult to go back and stay in a hotel room, and especially we have 2 kids. I can well imagine that once you've tasted blood on that side of it, you really need more space for yourself, even when you're holidaying. So I think it's practically a no-brainer as far as the business is concerned.
Right.
So let me push back, and I'm really interested because this question comes up all the time as to, it's great to have a co-founder, and that's something that a lot of people believe in. But when it comes to the co-founder being your better half, it's a different paradigm altogether. But I'm going to ask you to just put up your hand to a question that I'm asking. There'll be only 5 questions that I'll ask, and all you need to do is put up your hand if you think you are better at it than the other person out here, right? Should we start?
But will there be follow-on questions after?
No follow-on questions
after that. Then I'll think about it.
It's too dicey a topic to delve into detail. Post this show, you guys can talk to each other and sort it out. But right now, we'll just put it out there, saying that okay, let's see who what are the results of that. Okay, so let me start with, in terms of aesthetics and decor, who's better? Nice. Okay. In terms of, and you guys, you have to do it immediately, right? No cheating. You can't wait for the other person to do this. Okay. Okay. So the first one is out. Negotiations.
Okay.
The second question. Who's better at negotiations?
I don't know. Both of us.
Okay.
David, I don't, you will put your hands up too.
Okay. Managing money.
Huh?
Managing money. Okay. Quality.
Both. Again, David, come on here. You're fine too about this.
Okay. And PR. Okay, bad. So I think that pretty much, I expected answers to a lot of those questions in the similar line. So that itself in a way shows why you guys work so well together. But let me still put out that question to Devin. What do you think? What's the secret ingredient that makes you guys work so well?
Irrational perseverance.
Okay. So I'm trying to break this up. Who's the irrational one out here and who perseveres more, or it's both of you are doing together?
No, it's both of us. I think, countless times as entrepreneurs, this very well, that at countless times, even during the same day of absolute euphoria, on the same day you're down in the dumps with, almost like a roller coaster of emotions. And I think the only thing that sustains us as entrepreneurs and has seen us where we are, and you will vouch for this as well, is the irrational perseverance of our dream or goal that's keeping us sane. And we, every day getting up in the morning, showing up, only an entrepreneur can do it, and only if he or she is equipped with that irrational perseverance, right? Yeah, all of us feel at all points of quitting, right? You and I feel, what are we doing? Yaar, must chal raha tha. We were partners at EY. The SMS on the 1st of every month was so comforting. What has hit your bank account? There was a bonus at the end of the year. And look now where we've gotten ourselves into. Where, yeah. So it's the irrational.
You had a huge army of well-paid people who were out there helping you get to your goal.
Yes, absolutely. Correct. So,
I get that.
Yeah.
So, Tejas, a question for you is, tell me one learning that you've had in this whole journey.
Lots actually, honestly, but if there is one particular thing is that, how should I say, one line that I really love to stay by is, this too shall pass. So, this, I think, is a line which has helped me in a lot of situations in life, not just when it comes to work or it comes to business, but even life generally. So I think, especially now in the current times, if you look at it, we've seen such upheavals in the business. This lockdown has been tough, but there has been a silver lining. So even last year, after 4 months of literally, like Devin likes to say, agarbatti laga ke baithe the during the lockdown time,
Right.
and there was nothing at all in our this. We felt we were really. It was so difficult to kind of push yourself every day in the morning and try to figure out a way to work, and not just to way to work, but also to ensure that the team doesn't feel demoralized. They don't want to just leave you and go. And we have so many stakeholders, right? We have homeowners also as stakeholders. They should not feel that, okay, this company is just going nowhere or this business is not doing well and they should leave us. So that was a really tough time. But the bounce back was so brilliant. The bounce back from that point was so brilliant. And we've seen not just as a temporary kind of a bounce back, but also as a structural change in the way people want to consume and want to enjoy holidays or to want to enjoy their time off from work or from the city. So I think so we've realized that everything has to kind of, you have to just wait it out. And but in a very startup word, go into a cockroach mode wherever required, and you have to turn into a cockroach and just know to survive
Nice.
the tough
Nice.
times. I think that's perhaps the biggest learning in the past 1 year or so, I think.
Super. So, Devin, just to close, again, a one breath question. Where do you see Saffron Stays 8 months from now? And hopefully, you're talking about things again opening up. So what's your take in the next 8 months?
Well, I think the lockdown would probably open up in a couple of weeks or couple of months at best, but we should be back in business. We should be back in roaring business because people would want to, again, desperately get out and start enjoying their lives. Structurally, as they just said, what demonetization did to digital payments, the lockdown or the COVID has done to our business, which is increased adoption and habit formation. So we only see a positive way up. We'll easily double in the next 12 months for sure.
Outstanding. Tej, to conclude, where do you see Saffron Stays in 8 years from now?
8 years, wow. Well, I mean, I'm hoping that we have an IPO and we are a listed company, and we are able to share the wealth and be one of the top companies, hospitality companies of the country, for sure.
Outstanding, guys. Let me tell you all that, it's an absolute matter of pride to read about the brand that Saffron Stays has created. We go around telling a lot of people that, yes, we know the founders of Saffron Stays, and we have access to them. As they say, in India, access is a very important point. So I have no doubt in the fact that, especially given your attitude of the way I've seen your work and building up slowly. And as you said, it's not the unicorn that is what is driving you, but really getting into IPO stage. What you guys alluded to is really being a cockroach, moving slowly, but being alive and creating real value. And I have no doubt in my mind, it may actually happen before 8 years, but definitely in 8 years, you guys will be there. Thank you so much for this time. And as I said, matter of great pride to see you guys, building a business the way you guys are. Thanks so much.
Thanks
Thank
a
you,
lot.
Sanjay.
It's
Thanks
fun.
a lot.
This is really fun. Thank you.